Welcome back, everybody. I'm Peter Stefanatos, an agent with Compass on the main line, and today we're going to be talking about how to sell your mainline home for top dollar in 2026. Thinking about selling your mainline home but want to maximize your price, many homeowners leave thousands of dollars on the table simply because they don't use the right strategy. The difference between an average sale and a top dollar sale comes down to timing, marketing, and preparation. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through a clear step-by-step plan to help you sell for the highest price possible in today's market. We'll cover private market opportunities like we have at Compass, pricing strategies that create bidding wars, luxury level marketing techniques, and the home improvements that actually increase your home's value. I'll also share insider tips specific to Philadelphia's main line, just like towns Wayne, Ardmore, Villanova, so you can attract the right buyer. Let's start with one of the biggest advantages most sellers don't even realize they have. The first key to selling for top dollar is understanding the private market advantage. Most homeowners assume the MLS is the only way to sell your home, but in reality, many high-end homes on the Philadelphia main line sell off-market first, or at least are listed off-market. This is known as the private market. It's an exclusive, invitation-only strategy that can give sellers a serious edge. Here's why it works. First, less competition. Your home is not sitting next to hundreds of other listings. Second, you attract higher quality buyers. Serious, pre-qualified buyers often value privacy and exclusivity. And third, this strategy can support stronger pricing because you can avoid the fatigue that sometimes happens when a home sits publicly on the market for too long. For example, I recently worked with a seller myself who wanted top dollar but preferred privacy. We launched on the private market first, and within 3 days, they received an offer over asking. That home never had to fully compete with other on-market homes, and it being on the private market made many buyers feel like it was a very special listing because we had many people come through. It was like a broker's only meeting for different people to come inside, see the house, and those brokers we invited could also invite their agents if they were serious, and it worked out really well for them. And we just see it so often with so many different listings, especially on the main line, that just go private first. I'll actually have a couple on screen now that are privately listed as of right now. They might reach the public market at some point. They might just sell privately like many do, especially on the main line, but it's a perfect place to test your aspirational home price. And that's what we recommend all sellers to do, is test your aspirational home price privately first, because there is no downside in doing so. And if you can get your aspirational price, that's great. You can get it on the private market. But if the private market doesn't yield you that price, there's no consequences. Your home was never on the MLS, was never on Zillow, so it was never getting days on market and losing value. Plus, you have no sign in the yard, no constant showings of people who are serious and not serious, no open houses, neighbors coming through your house. We just highly recommend, if you're going to list, let's test your aspirational price privately first. Let's see what a portion of the market says about your home. Then we can go public if it doesn't sell at a more reasonable price. If you're curious whether your home is a good fit for the private market, it's a conversation worth having, and you can let us know down below. We have a little link you can click and let us know your situation, and we'll reach back out to you about if the private market could be a great fit. It's definitely a conversation that's worth having. Many of the strongest sales happen before homes ever hit Zillow or Redfin. Okay, next, let's talk about pricing, because this is where many sellers accidentally lose money. The biggest mistake I see is overpricing, and agents alike. It feels logical to list high and negotiate down, but in today's market, that strategy often backfires. Overpriced homes tend to sit longer, attract fewer qualified buyers, and frequently sell for less than they would have if you started with the right initial strategy. What you want instead is a pricing approach that creates urgency and competition. Here's the winning formula. First, look closely at recently sold homes, not just active listings. Second, analyze neighborhood-specific trends, because Ardmore behaves differently than Villanova or Wayne for different types of homes. And third, in many cases, pricing slightly below market value can sometimes trigger bidding wars. And that is a plan that we often like to deploy if the private market aspirational price does not work out. I've seen this countless of times with a home that was listed, say, at $1 million in Wayne, and within 48 hours, 5 offers come in and the final sale was $1.3 million. Just because the bidding between these few clients who wanted to get the home at an appropriate price ended up bidding it up, waiving their inspections and contingencies just to get the home. And as a seller, that is the type of situation you want to create estate, and that is what we do. The exact pricing strategy always depends on your specific property and micro location and exactly what you're looking for, which is why a custom pricing plan always matters. Now, let's talk about upgrades, because not all renovations are created equal. If your goal is top dollar, you do not need to gut renovate your entire house. In fact, many large remodels right before selling have weak returns. What actually works are targeted high impact updates. Fresh, neutral paint consistently delivers one of the highest returns. Modern light fixtures and updated hardware can instantly make a home feel more current. Refinished hardwood floors are extremely attractive, especially to mainline buyers today, especially when original wood is present. And never underestimate curb appeal. A clean, well-maintained exterior can meaningfully impact perceived value the moment buyers pull up, making them pay a little over market value. Also, deep cleaning your home, making it look as clean as possible, is something I highly recommend. And it goes a long way. Just focus on the small changes that create a strong first impression and skip the major overhauls unless there is a clear strategic reason. Now, let's move into marketing, because luxury homes require luxury exposure. High-end marketing is what creates emotional demand and brings the right buyers through the door. Professional photography is non-negotiable. Homes with high-quality photos consistently sell faster and attract more showings. High-definition video and virtual tours dramatically increase buyer engagement, especially with relocation buyers. And targeted social media advertising allows us to put your home directly in front of qualified buyers in your price range. For example, I recently marketed a home that we listed and it got around 3,500 views online. And I believe that was one of the reasons it sold in under a week, well over asking, actually privately as well. So if you want your buyers to compete for your home, the presentation and distribution strategy must match the price point. This leads to the next big decision: private market versus full MLS exposure. Okay, let's talk about this because there's some controversy. Private market launch is often the best for exclusive properties and sellers who value privacy and controlled access. A traditional MLS launch is powerful when the goal is to maximize exposure with bidding war dynamics. In many situations, the strongest approach is actually a hybrid strategy. We start with the private market exposure to test demand with serious buyers, and then if needed, we expand to the full public market to capture maximum competition at a more appropriate price. Let's choose the right path depending on your home, your timing, and your goals. So let's quickly touch on neighborhood-specific strategies across Philadelphia's main line. In Ardmore, buyers are heavily driven by walkability to Suburban Square and the train. Marketing should highlight lifestyle, restaurants, convenience, because your younger professional buyers respond strongly to that. In Wayne, the appeal often centers around similar features and also the blend of historic charm, maybe some newer construction, along with strong community feel. Emphasizing neighborhood character and community events tends to resonate well, along with how quickly you can get to downtown and if it's walkable from your home. In Villanova, positioning is more prestige driven. Buyers care more about estate quality, school reputation, the proximity to Villanova University, high-end amenities. If the neighborhood is safe, you don't hear much road noise, say you back up to 76. The marketing tone should reflect that elevated positioning. Every mainline town attracts a slightly different buyer profile, and your marketing should be tailored accordingly. So let's recap the game plan to maximize your sale price. Okay, start by evaluating whether a private market launch makes sense for your property. Using a price strategy designed to create competition, not chase the market. Focus on high ROI cosmetic improvements instead of major last-minute renovations, and invest in professional marketing that position your home at the level that buyers expect today. And that's what we do actually for free. Selling your Philadelphia mainline home for top dollar is not about luck. It is all about having the right strategy from day one with people who have done it consistently. Just like our team, we've done over 90 transactions in the main line within the past year. If you want a custom game plan for your property, reach out to me directly. I'll have some of my info on the screen, email, number. Also down below, we have a little link. You can give us some information and we'll reach back out to you to see how we can help. And if you found this helpful, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notifications for more Philadelphia mainline real estate insights. And again, let us know if you guys need any help with either buying on the main line or selling. Info is down below. Take it easy, everybody. Have a blessed 2026. Peace.